The other day, somebody reminded me about Concord, a new hero shooter that is supposedly going to be coming out in a couple of months. I believe it is coming out in August. Oh, never mind. That is next month. So it is coming out pretty soon. So I was honestly actually interested in how Concord was doing, because when I saw the trailer for it, I honestly was not really impressed. I'm not really that much of a hero shooter enjoyer myself. I've never really played Overwatch, Valorant, or games of the like, and I was kind of interested to see how it was doing. And unfortunately, as Paul Tassi comments on in this article, it's not doing good. Not really doing good. Now, I am not entirely sure what the reason for that could be. Perhaps it has something to do with the characters. Now, some of these characters, oh my gosh, they look absolutely amazing. I have absolutely no idea why people would dislike them whatsoever. The designs look absolutely flawless in any which way possible. I'm going to go through all of them, or a good majority of them, because, I'm going to be honest with you. The robot looks half decent. The trash can robot looks half decent. I can't really fault them for this design. This design's pretty cool. The puffs on her hair is not actually that bad. One thing I will say is the game has a lot of very smooth design, which, with a lot of games these days, a lot of them do have really decent designs. The problem that I feel like we're gonna come into is that the characters don't really look interesting. Like I looked into all of the characters. I looked into some of the scenery itself. Scenery is not bad. Excuse me. The scenery is not horrible. It's not horrible at all. But the characters don't look interesting. And I don't know if this is an issue with how politics are working in the game studios. I definitely feel like there is a bit of a comparison you can make between Western game studios, which is where Concord, I believe, is being produced, and game studios like Japan. However, I wanted to compare just a little bit the strengths of this game, which right now is, I don't know if the open beta is still available, but during their open beta, not very good. Not very good. It looks like it might still be open because there are people playing as of 40 minutes ago, it looks like. But this is from, let's see, the 20th of July all the way until now. And the all-time peak is 2,300, a little over 2,300. Now, all sarcasm aside, this game does not look very interesting. Paul Tassi kind of outlines it here. There's a couple of things that he's not going to say because Paul Tassi will dance around things that doesn't really fit what he likes to talk about. But there are some things that he brings up that I feel like are pretty important. One of the reasons being that hero shooters are on their way out. I've talked about this on stream with one of my co-hosts of our podcast. But hero shooters are kind of just walking out. Like, they've been here, they've had their thing, they were an esports event, and now hero shooters are kind of leaving. Overwatch is probably going to stick around for a while. Valorant probably going to stick around for a while. If it is a big hero shooter that's been here for a decent amount of time, I think it's probably going to stick around for a decent amount of time until it dies because they can't satisfy their customers, they screw over their customers or whatever. I'm looking at you, Overwatch. But I don't really understand why this game is coming out, because it's very obvious that the hero shooters are on the way out. And that is one of the concerns that I feel like people are having. Again, he brings up the very low player numbers, which is still kind of terrifying. In a world that is dominated by gamers, with the amount of gamers that we have in the world, and I'll be showing you another game here in a moment that kind of illustrates this point. Not a lot of people. Not a lot of people, especially considering that there's probably still quite a lot of hero shooters here. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'm going to look up how many people are playing Overwatch and Valorant right now. Yeah, quite a lot. Quite a lot. Now, I'll be honest with you again, that's probably still not as much as Overwatch used to have. I probably could look at the Overwatch 1 statistics and it would probably be higher. But considering what we see here versus here, that's like quite a big difference. Quite a big difference. Now, again, I I would point out, and I would definitely say that the culture war is definitely this is definitely a casualty of some of the culture war politics we've seen. Designs suck. All right, just not gonna be too nasty about it. The designs suck. Some of the characters don't look half bad. Like, she doesn't look half bad. I think her outfit looks fine. The alien looks fine. This cowboy, he looks like the cowboy Iron Man here. Doesn't look half bad. Some of these designs are not horrible, but the fact that you have some of these, like, when you're making a hero shooter, at least in my personal opinion, when you're making a game where your goal is to have characters that are very fit, very active, running around and all that stuff, I don't really think of this girl here. I think her name. Let's see. Her name appears to be Amari. Amari, I'm really sorry, but like, if that's really what you look like underneath the armor, I'm sorry, Mal. I don't mean to make fun of anybody's design here. Well, I mean, excuse me, I do, but like, it's bad. It's really, really bad. And I feel like the tide for this kind of stuff is not being tolerated anymore. There was a period of time, and I'm going to speak from what I've learned, what I've studied during Gamergate, and now from 2015 to now, where we've had, a celebration or tolerance of bad video games. Like, bad video games have just kind of been a thing that have been growing worse and worse and worse and worse. And we've gotten to the point, I think 2023 was the first year that it kind of like broke out, and we now, in 2024, we have games where if they suck, they don't sell. And I think a good kind of like flip side to this, while it is not a hero shooter, I still think it counts, and that is the First Descendant. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. The First Descendant is a bit of a mixed bag in terms of some of its stuff. I played a decent amount of it. You can find a lot of the streams on my channel where I play it. I have a lot of critiques for this game. I have a lot of praise for this game. One of the biggest things that I praise in this game, and I think one of the things that people are going to gravitate towards this game, is that the characters are hot. All of the females are hot. And that's what sells, okay? Like I don't think we need to kid ourselves here. Sex appeal sells, obviously, and that is what are going to make people spend money on your game. Now, the First Descent is a free-to-play adventure, whereas Concord will be $40 when it comes out. But this game is free, and like Warframe, and like Destiny, well, actually not like Destiny, but just like Warframe, this game is free to play. You don't have to spend any money in this game whatsoever in order to gain every single character. And all you gotta do is be okay with the grind, which is perfect. But like, if you want to compare and contrast how the game is doing, Concord, yikes. And again, this is only a few days. Maybe it'll pick up. I mean, it is a Sunday when I'm recording this. It has been a couple days where people could just, get on and play. Let's say the peak was on Thursday and they had 2,000 players. It is now Sunday and it's down to 800. But compare and contrast this to the First Descendant, which has been out for a while here. It has only been out for like a couple of weeks, so there isn't really much that I can show in towards of games. Let's pull it all the way back to the opening of the game, which was back in the early parts of July. This game has been doing pretty decently. Again, there's a lot of things that you can criticize this game on. The microtransactions, it's a Nexon game. Nexon games are going to be Nexon games, and they're going to ask you for any amount of money that they feel like they can get out of you. But the gunplay is great. The visuals are absolutely fantastic. And the story is mid at best, but, excuse me, I think that the First Descendant has a lot of potential. And the reason why I say that is if you want to look at another game, Warframe, which I previously mentioned, Warframe kind of started out with a rocky adventure too. I was not there at the beginning of Warframe. I wish I was, but it was not the crisp experience that you see today. Warframe was a little janky, a little broken, a little crazy, and it didn't have a lot of the refined features that everybody has come to love. So I'm going to give a bit of a break to the First Descendant, partially because it's very beautiful, partially because the gameplay is fantastic, and partially because I prefer cute, hot women as opposed to this. As opposed to the, I would much rather have this than this. So I think that's why the game is doing much better. I do think that the First Descendant, like, it is obviously in its honeymoon phase still. I think that as time goes on, you're probably going to see a bit of a taper off. They still have time to continue working and tweaking on things. In fact, they did just recently come out and say, hey, we're going to release a patch and leave X thing in the game. In fact, let me bring that up right now because I want to show that. They brought up this message here where basically people discovered an exploit where Valby, which is one of the later one of the later descendants you can get, how it made very easy to grind and get a lot of items in the game. Now, whenever something like this comes out, anytime an exploit comes out, game designers are very quick to change that and very quick to get away with that, because especially in a game like the First Descendant, where if it's easier to get items in a game that you made grindy on purpose, yikes, that's obviously going to be changed. What did the First Descendant do? This is what they said. So this is the director. I'm going to mispronounce his name, so I'm not going to. But he's a decent Korean man from what I've heard. We are aware of the Valby run issue. Instead of removing it, we'll update other farming locations to match the efficiency equivalent to the Fortress Outpost. Preparing for a hotfix patch 1.0.4 to address this. Thank you for your feedback. So instead of doing what a lot of other people have done when it comes to nerfing games these days, the First Descendant is taking the route of saying, you know what, we're going to make it easier for you guys to do exactly this. And I have to give them I have to give them a chance. Again, I know that there's a lot of jankiness to it. I believe that I hope that as time goes on, story gets better. But I'm going to be honest with you. I already have a couple games with really good story, like Warframe, absolutely fantastic story. We just had TennoCon. Destiny, really good story. I am okay with the First Descendant just being about gameplay and graphics and a overall fun experience. If the story just carries you along to the next goal, that's okay with me. Tell me what you think down in the comments, because maybe I'm wrong and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I just felt like sharing this today. Reason being, we are definitely seeing a shift in the culture. People are refusing to buy bad products. People are refusing to participate in bad products. Concord is a bad product, in my personal opinion. Whoever worked on it, I'm sure that the game designers who made the gunplay, I'm sure that the gameplay is probably all right. I've not seen much for it because I don't care much for it, but I have heard that the gunplay is okay, maybe, but the characters suck. All right? I'm just going to be honest. They suck. And they suck. And either they better change it, or this is going to get worse. Yeah. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. A little bit of a short one here. If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord if you want to talk to me personally, because I'm very busy octopus, so I have to spend all my time working. But other than that, thank you so much for watching the video today, and I hope you have a good one. Bye!